And we're rolling. Curtis is awake and with us today.
It was an accident last time. I'm sorry.
It's all right. We're changing up the pace today. I kind of realized going through our normal draft procedure that there's not much time to get to know the guests. If we did that, it would take probably 2+ hours because they're already running pretty long as it is.
Mm-hmm.
And thus comes today. So what I'm going to do is do like a spotlight of focus on some of my guests, starting with Mr. Kurtis Allen, and I'm going to do 6 questions. So it's still in the same realm. You ready?
I am ready for the bag of 6 questions with Pain
Right.
Productions. I'm ready.
They're not difficult. They're I left them kind of easy. There might be some tough choices for you, but I don't want you to have to think too hard. You can see I got my orange blazing. We're getting ready for a tip off here in about an hour.
Yep.
Big Ten Tourney Championship coming up. Go Illini.
Go Illini.
So here's what we know about Kurtis Allen. You are the morning show host and program director for WIXY 100.3 in Champaign, Illinois.
True.
You are from Paris, Illinois, originally.
Also true.
You are married and father of 2 twin 4-year-olds.
That is true. They just turned 4 last weekend.
Yes. Happy belated birthday to Tyson and Emerson. Our kids are actually not that far apart. My son's 4th was on the 2nd. So
yeah. Some people may or may not know this, but we used to run into each other at the hospital from time to time, leading up to it. True story. Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to peel back just one layer. We're not getting too deep. I'm not getting into your deepest fears. I'm not talking about your time in prison, nothing like that. It's just going to be strictly above board.
It was the Edgar County Jail for what that's worth. It wasn't prison.
Okay. All right. So the first one is going to be a light one. As we said, you are a father of 2, a boy and a girl twin. And dadisms are your thing. Yeah, I've seen you post lots of them, and you're leaning all into the dad thing, and we all have to, and it's a blast. When it comes time for their programming, which is your favorite of the shows that they watch?
Ooh.
Like when it comes on, it's like, I'm all right with this one.
So Sesame Street is one that I love, but they have outgrown it, which is kind of a bummer to me because that's my favorite when they were all about Sesame Street. So right now, maybe Paw Patrol, what's the other one with I'm having a brain fart now. Like it's got Catboy and Gecko.
PJ Masks.
I like PJ Masks. There you go. Thank you. I'm all right with those.
All right. Who's your favorite Paw Patrol character then?
Rubble.
Okay.
For sure. Yeah. He reminds me of me if I were a member of the Paw Patrol. That would probably be me. Stocky, strong, Yeah.
Snacks.
Always got snacks. He's always eating snacks. That's my guy. So.
All right. The easy one's over.
Oh, boy.
Now, we have shared interests. We talked about the Illini. As far as sports teams across the board, we're all pretty Illinois central, Bears, Cubs, Blackhawks, what have you. But if you can only pick one team, so as your overall favorite of all of your rooting interests,
man,
which team would you choose? And as a bonus, your favorite all-time player from that team?
Man. I'm going to go with the Chicago Cubs because the Bears have just been so disrespectful to their fan base for the last, 3 or 4 decades. So I'm definitely going with the Chicago Cubs. My all-time favorite player is first baseman Mark Grace. I grew up a big fan of Gracie. Andre Dawson, a close second. Those are my 2 guys when I was a kid growing up. So Grace 1, Dawson 2.
Fantastic. Dude, Grace ate the town alive. That was one of my favorite things about Grace. Not only was he fun to watch, he wasn't the flashiest player. He was just consistent. I'm gonna hit over 300. I'm gonna play great defense. But then I will beat you to the bars after the game's over.
I'm right. Yes, absolutely. Well, and as a kid, because Grace didn't wear batting gloves, I didn't wear gloves either. And my dad was like, you really don't need them. It's true. You don't need batting gloves. So I always took a little bit of pride in going up to the plate without gloves on. And yeah, I mean, there was something about him when I was a kid that I was just drawn to. I liked the way he played the game, Yeah. And he was always fun too. He was always having fun. Now, as a little guy, I didn't know he was going to the bars so much afterwards.
Right.
But the older I was like, yeah, Gracie liked to party a little bit, And I was happy when he got a ring with the Diamondbacks in 01, So
yeah. Still kind of living on through the Diamondbacks. I wish they kind of do more with him as the Cubs organization, bring him back
for sure.
more heavily. Yeah. That'd be cool. All right, that went a little bit easier than expected, man. Just if we would not have won in 16, would have been a little bit tougher.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe. I think I probably still would have gone with the Cubs. If I was going to go Bears, I'd probably go Urlacher. Brian Urlacher was always my guy. Him and Olin Kreutz were my two guys. I could go off on a tangent about all my favorite players.
Yeah. No. You get one choice, man. We don't get to.
Okay. All right. I'm going with the Cubs. Stick with the Cubs.
Is there fond childhood memories like with the family or going to the ballpark or anything, or it's just?
Man, I remember. Yeah. So the first game I ever went to was a Cubs Cards game at Busch Stadium, and I think it was Gracie's last year with the organization before he moved on and ended up with the Diamondbacks. But and little nugget, Luis Gonzalez, who was a Cub, ended up with Grace there as well. But that game went 14 innings. It was a night game, went into extra innings, and Gonzo hit a walk-off single to win the game. He hit a solo homer earlier in the game, too, and it was a line shot. And it was like, oh my God, I have a movie. I'm going to catch this ball. It's coming right at us. And then some dude who's like 6'5" jumped up and snatched it out of the sky. I had my glove, man. I was ready. But yeah, that's the first game I ever went to. Then a week later, we saw Cubs Cards at Wrigley during a Saturday afternoon day game, and it was just baseball heaven, man. I would just loved it. Yeah. Loved it. Yeah.
Oh man, it's the walking through those doors the first time to see Wrigley Field is just magical, man. There's nothing like it.
My dad and I were at the 20 strikeout game in the rain of Woody's. That's probably the game. Yes. I was 13 or 14. That's probably the game that's like my fondest memory. I got a lot of good memories. There's another one. It was Sean Hill's debut with the Cubs. They're playing Cubs Pirates. All the scoring is done in the first inning. 3 solo homers, 2-1 Cubs. My dad, who was probably not going to watch this, but my dad fell asleep. It's not like he was drunk or anything like that. He just dozed off in the second inning, woke up in the top of the 9th when the Cubs come on to close it out, and it's 2 outs, and everybody's on their feet waiting for the third strikeout, clapping. So he's just going, and he stands up. He's, I didn't miss anything. I was like, man, you bought these tickets. This is my dad. He bought these tickets and he dozed off at Wrigley Field, a sold out ball game, and woke up at the top of the 9th with the Cubs win. So, a lot of great memories going to those games with my dad. And that's something like, as a dad, I want to do that with the Twins when they get a little bit older. I'd love to take them to Wrigley. I want to take them to Memorial Stadium to watch an Illini football game, or State Farm Center for a basketball game. So,
sure.
Looking forward to that.
Did he have the classic arms folded?
Yes, he did. In fact, I got a picture. I got a picture of him arms folded like this, and then it was a floppy hat day. So I took a picture where I'm holding the floppy hat like it's on his head, and he's got his head down. This is a true story. 2 years later, we're back for a Cubs Pirates game, and there were 4 elder women. When I say elder, I mean like mid-late 70s that were sitting in front of us, and one of them passed out her head back on my dad's knees for 5 days. He couldn't move. I got a great picture of that. He's just, what do I do? What the hell do I do? I was like, I don't know, wake her up. And he's like, excuse me. And the lady would kind of lift her head up and just put it right back down on his knees. It was the funniest freaking thing ever, man. So all sorts of weird, wild stuff there was another Cubs game that Dad and I went to, and he took me because I had gone through a bad breakup. He's like, this has been a couple months afterwards. He thought he'd cheer me up. We go to a Cubs game. We're sitting on the third base line. Ramos Ramirez is playing third, watching him warm up. Out of all the Cubs games, and all the seats in Wrigley Field. Here comes my ex with her new boyfriend, and they sat right behind the game. It was the most awkward, horrible experience ever. And they eventually, like, it was so bad for her, right? She got up and left. That's a true story, man. We were walking to our seats. It's like, God, her name was Sarah. Like, God, that looks like Sarah. I didn't say anything to Dad at the time, but he noticed when they came back. He's like, oh, you're going to say hello? I was like, no, I'm not going to say hello.
Oh, shit. That's insanity.
That is a true story. Yeah.
I mean, not even that you guys were even there on the same day, but that your tickets had to be.
Terrible.
That's awesome. Sorry.
Cubs Reds game. Cubs won 9-2, by the way, that game.
All right.
But it's burned in my memory forever. We went to the first game after Harry Carey died. We went to that where Harry's wife threw out the first pitch, and they had all these giant Harry Carey glasses they were giving away. I've still got those. I mean, man, we've been to a lot of fun games, a lot of memories there. Most of them good, some of them bad, like running into my ex-girlfriend. Sitting literally right behind me with her new boyfriend. Messed up, man. True story.
Holy shit. All right. So you mentioned the home run, but have you ever gotten a foul ball?
No, the only ball I ever got, it wasn't even at a Cubs game. It was Braves Cardinals. I was 12 or 13. We went to St. Louis for vacation. It was kind of cool. My mom and dad let me pick what we were going to do for the week we were there. So it was like, I wanted to go to a baseball game. I wanted to go in the Arch, Six Flags, all that. But at the baseball game was a night game, Braves and Cardinals. I'd had a knee surgery that summer. I had torn some ligaments in my knee, so I had this brace on. And Fred McGriff is warming up at first base, taking ground balls or whatever. And I'm yelling, crime dog, can I have your autograph, with some other kids. I said, please, crime dog, I'm an injured child. And he laughed. Fred McGriff turned around and laughed, and he ran over and gave me a baseball. So that's the only ball I've ever gotten at a game. But it was because I guilted Fred McGriff into giving me the ball.
I'm an injured child.
And the old man is just howling. My dad is howling, laughing about it. He still talks about that story. Me telling Fred McGriff I was an injured child.
Fantastic. Well, I mean, it was true. I mean,
it was true.
You didn't pull like an illness or anything like that. I mean, it was.
No, I didn't. I didn't say I was dying or I was just, something like that. But I did. I had a blue air cast on. My knee was totally wrapped. I had 2 crutches to get up and down the steps, kind of thing. And I propped my leg up on the on like right there on the dugout. Basically, there's these bricks, and then there's the Cardinals dugout, or the wait is the Braves dugout. And I kind of propped my leg up on it. Please, sir, I'm an injured child. At first, he turned around and faked like he was going to throw the ball at us, right? And then he saw me. And then he saw me with my leg up, and he walked over and gave me the ball, and he gave a couple of baseball.
Nice.
Shout out to Fred McGriff. I know he's watching.
Always, man. He's one of my first subscriber.
Prime Dog loves it.
He was my first subscriber. All right. So recently, you have gone through a grilling upgrade.
Yes.
You're a Traeger man now.
I am, and I love it.
The Traeger app. You text about it. We text back and forth, grilling stories, etc. If and when you have a big party or a lot of friends over on the other side of all this madness, what is your go-to item right now? Like, what have you nailed? What is the best thing you've grilled? What is like, oh man, you know what I'm going to make? I'm going to do this, and this is going to knock it all out, and everybody's going to, carry me on their shoulders like Ralphie in the Christmas Story. Like, you're going to, what is the item?
I have done, I don't know if people know this about Ryan, but if you text him your food and like you've made something amazing on the grill, he gives you what's called the full Efron. It's a gift of Zac Efron flexing his muscles, and that's tough to get. I've only gotten that twice. One of them was Thanksgiving for the turkey. So I don't know if I would do that necessarily, because that was, that's Thanksgiving.
Right.
But what the last one you gave me was I did apricot barbecue glazed chicken, and the best smoked twice baked potato ever. I have twice baked potatoes made on the grill. Dude, total game changer. So I lead that barbecue chicken is just like, try this. You know, I think you're gonna like what I can do. The simple thing is burgers, brats, dogs, and all that. I mean, but I'm very proud. The burgers always turn out perfect, absolutely perfect. But I really think into that barbecue chicken. I've also done a couple 3 pork loins that I've seasoned and smoked that have been money.
Oh, okay.
So I might go that route too. I've said this before. I'm itching to do a brisket. Like I haven't had a chance to do one yet, and I haven't. I just haven't had the opportunity. So it's killing me that I've had the thing, 10 months now, and I haven't done a brisket yet. But that is really, really high on the list. So what I want to do next. But
those are fun, man. They can also be sold. It's not the easiest of meats to cook. So that's why it's kind of, when I first started reading about smoking, when I first started smoking, it's like, start with chickens. They're cheap, they're easy. Like,
right. Yeah.
Even if you mess them up, they're still not bad. Like,
exactly. So probably what I would do is I would probably do some wings or something like that, or, some chicken breast.
Have you tried this new apricot glazed barbecue sauce on wings yet?
Not yet. Though I'm feeling that though. That's probably next on the list. I did do this Chipotle barbecue. Traeger's got their whole line of, seasonings and barbecues and all that, sauces. Of course they do, right? Of course. So for Christmas, my mom and dad got me a bunch of that stuff, bunch of dry rubs or whatever. And I made some pretty killer wings with their Chipotle barbecue that they've got. So the apricot though, man, it's good. It's different levels. So I'm thinking that might be the next way to go. I want to find a way to make it a little spicy. I feel like the apricot glaze and maybe something a little heat to it too. I don't know. I'm thinking about that. That would be something good. Maybe I can mix them up. I don't know. It's my grill. I can experiment. So
right. That's the best thing. That's one of my favorite thing about doing wings is like you can do a dozen of each, like different flavors, and throw the profiles out there. All right. Your story checks out, Grillman. All right. So to pile off of that,
okay.
Hypothetical, your in-laws just came, they grabbed your wife and your 2 kids, and you have 24 hours at home now with just nothing but Kurtis time. Walk us through that, including food, snacks, drinks, entertainment ideas. What are you doing for 24 hours of freedom?
God. Oh, God. Sounds so nice. All right. So let's say we'll go noon to noon.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Is that what we're doing? Okay. Noon to noon. The first thing I'm going to do, like if I'm doing lunch, I think I'm going to go I'm going to make like a Tony Soprano type sandwich for lunch. Is what I'm going to do. It's going to have, some deli style. I'm going to have a deli sandwich of some sort. And
big one.
Probably toast it up.
Like,
yeah.
Like a grind, or what do they call hoagies?
Hoagies. I'm probably gonna have a hoagie or something like that, or maybe just a big sandwich on 2 pieces of bread. Not necessarily the hoagie bun or anything like that. But I'll probably do a big sandwich for lunch because I need it to carry me to dinner time. And so while I'm having lunch, I'm either watching a ball game, or I've got so many movies that are just blood and gore and rated R that I cannot watch with the kids around, or that nobody other than me in the house wants to watch. So,
give us an example.
For an example, I've been on a big '80s horror kick. So, like I might put on an '80s classic like Pieces or something like that. If you remember Pieces, or Sleepaway Camp.
Oh, okay.
Sleepaway Camp.
That one I know.
Get weird with Sleepaway Camp.
That one's real weird,
Yeah. But no, there's a lot of new scary horror movies that I might put on, or I might throw on
in the daytime. You're a daytime horror guy.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Because I got it for 24 hours. So it's like, well, you know what? Here's what I do.
Okay, you're on the ramp up. Okay, so you're establishing your daytime horror base as you ramp up.
Yeah, but like, what I'll do is I'll choose it's either a film or a show to kind of get to the main event. Like I'm not going to start,
Right.
with a big bang necessarily. I just started watching Ozark. I'm like 6-7 episodes into the first season of Ozark. So probably what I would do is I'd watch a couple episodes of Ozark. Right?
There you go. It's got
Give
some
me two.
darkness in there to help you.
Well, that's dark too. There's some darkness in Ozark. Yeah. But that'll get me to, maybe a ball game, maybe an Illini game in the afternoon. Maybe the Blackhawks are playing, whatever, some
It's
sort of
your dream
sports,
day, man. Make it whatever game you want.
Then we'll get from there to dinner time. I'm probably going to do some Joe's Pizza because it is my all-time favorite pizza. And if I have the house to myself, I'm probably going to eat too much of it. I'm not going to share. I'm going to eat a lot of Joe's Pizza. I might have some of the guys over. Might have a couple of friends over. We might do a little, afterwards. Do a little Jack Daniels and Coke. Do a little Jack and Coke.
That's
and
the drink.
Yeah, probably have some. I don't want to sit
Regular
around
or
and just
Diet Coke. Regular or Diet Coke.
regular. I know I should
All
do
right,
it.
man. No, man. Don't you?
My day.
Don't you
My
dare
day.
apologize.
But like if the guys are over, we're probably going to watch a horror movie that is agreed upon, or a action movie that's agreed upon, and we will talk sports. We will talk music, and we will drink our whiskey. And at some point, we'll end up outside talking sports, music, and drinking whiskey. Hanging out. Staying up way too late. Finish the movie way later than expected. Everyone goes home. I go to bed. Am I still on a junk food kick? I can still eat whatever I want, right?
Yeah, man. It's your
Okay.
day.
Next morning, I'm getting up. I'm probably going to get some fast food for breakfast or somewhere that's got biscuits and gravy. Probably going to do that. My daughter has an egg allergy, so I'm probably going to get like a big ass omelet and some biscuits and gravy. I'm going to scarf that down. I'll clean up, make sure there's no egg left behind that I got to worry about for her.
Right.
And then that'll leave me like a half hour to get a shower and pick up whatever mess is left over around the house before they get home around noon.
Yeah.
So then, maybe I'll have some leftovers at lunch with the family when they get home. But that's kind of what, I might vacuum up a little bit. I'll watch at least one more movie or at least 2 more episodes of Ozark or something like that.
In the morning?
In the morning to get to that point. So there you go. I hope I didn't drag on too long for anybody that's watching. That's my dream 24 hours.
No. Yeah, because I was curious. That doesn't sound like you're sleeping in then. If you're going to try to pack a little extra entertainment in the AM.
And so that's the thing is that, like, when I sleep, if I get 8 hours, it's 8 hours straight. So if I go to bed at midnight and I'm uninterrupted, I'm going to wake up at 8 on the dot kind of thing. So, if I stay up till 2 in the morning with the guys, I'm going to be up at 10. I'll get my breakfast in, and a little bit of time left to shower, and, then I'll have a very light lunch. I'll still be full from breakfast, but like, what do you want for lunch? I'm like, I don't know, maybe just to.
Well, I mean, you can multitask. You can have your breakfast while you're watching, man. You don't have to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, that's baked in there. Now, Joe's Pizza, for those that aren't aware, it was brought up on a previous episode as the pride of Paris as far as pizza goes. That's a lot of alliteration there. Is there any special way you're ordering it or toppings or something that you normally like? I can't have sausage really on I can, but I don't get sausage as much because the kids like cheese and, so I usually stick that route, and nothing wrong with cheese pizza, but are you getting like the Kurtis special?
Yeah. I mean, if it's just me, it's pepperoni, sausage, green peppers on my pizza at Joe's, but I'm cool with it just being pepperoni and sausage. I'm cool with just pepperoni, but if I get Joe's, it's always got pepperoni on. Their stuffed breadsticks are amazing. They call them Bosco sticks. Get those for sure. And their meat sauce with the breadsticks is, man, just their sauce in general is fantastic. They just put out, they don't do it very often, but they've got a new Chicago style deep dish that they do. Ooh, buddy. Like with their sauce, it's game changer. It is fantastic. Can't recommend it enough for sure. If you get a chance to try the deep dish at Joe's, go for it, man.
All right, I put it on my list. It will get done at some point in time. All right, you mentioned talking with your friends, about the key subjects, the world, what keeps the world turning. Most of my topics for my other drafts, usually something more entertainment, music, food, etc. You used to play in a band, correct?
I did. I played in a couple of bands. Yes.
Right. Give us a little back. What was your best playing experience? Like with the best show, or it could be either what was happening at the show. It could be the venue. It could be how you particularly did. Like they finally are like, rip it and grip it.
So well, we were all hard rock, heavy metal kids. So that's what we played.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple, 3 shows that really that stick out. They were a lot of fun, but it's not like we played on some shows that we were with bands we had no business being on stage with, because we were all 18, 19-year-old kids, and these were some of the more established, well-known regional and national bands. It's like, holy crap, what are we doing here? We don't belong here. But like, I remember the first time we played at the Canopy Club. It was, you felt like you had made it. Like, to us, we got asked to do it, and they were doing these Monday night showcases with 93.5 The Rock back in the day. Jay and the Rock Nation, the afternoon guy back then, and he always hosted those. And Jeff Markland was the one who was booking them at the time. Love Jeff, good dude. And yeah, he put us on. It was like, we were so nervous 2-3 days leading up to that Monday night show. Like, oh my God, we're playing at the Canopy Club kind of thing. A bunch of our friends were there. And we were supposed to open up for, at that show, Marty Casey and the Love Hammers. Marty Casey had done CBS Rockstar, I think it was Supernova, I think, or maybe NXS. It was the one with NXS. And so Marty was like, he was a big deal in Chicago. He's still a big deal up in Chicago, but he became such a big deal. He ended up coming in like 2nd or 3rd place on that show. Then NXS picked another guy to sing for him. Became such a big deal. It was like they were booked to do that show, and they didn't show up. They no-showed it. So then there were people that were there that were expecting to see the Love Hammers, and all they got was us. So it was like, everybody was cool though. That was a good one.
27th encore. There is no Love Hammer.
Man, we had it's stereotypical, right? But we had this guy, he's like a biker. He was there with his wife, and he comes up to us after we got done playing a set, and we played for a while. So it was like, we played all we knew, any cover we knew. We had already we all through our originals. He's like, you guys gonna do something like Freebird or something like that? I was like, no, that's just a joke now. You don't ask the band to play Freebird anymore, do you? But that was a fun one. I remember the first time we did a show, we were in high school out at the lake in Paris, and man, there was a ton, like, it was, the whole school was there, and it was like, this is our first show. So that was kind of nerve-wracking. That was a really fun memory that we had. It was old do-it-yourself. We built a big curtain thing to have it drop when we started playing, and a good friend of mine ran sound for it, and he had lights and smoke, and he made us look like, rock stars, and we're just 17, 18-year-old kids. Those are the ones, like the really early ones. Those are the fun ones. Those are the ones that really stick out to me more so than some of the other ones, because after a while it became, I don't know, like, you didn't have to worry about backlining your set, or set up and tear down necessarily, or you didn't have to worry about who was getting what cut of the door. Like, this band's coming from here, so they got to make X amount of dollars or something like that. It was just like, kids that had no idea what we were doing and got to play, and we made so many friends and connections, and that's really where it kind of took off. So, right. But no, I could ramble about that stuff forever. That was fun. It was fun stuff. 02 to like 06 was a lot of fun.
Give us some band names. You said you've been in a few.
Do I have to? Have to? Because it's good. No, I can't. Because it's going to lead to Google searches and things like that. And you're going to see me. You're going to see me in Jinkos and long. No. Yeah, you know what?
Holding out on the listeners. They'll find it, man.
Nobody cares. It's just they will find it. They probably will. Tell you what. You do some deep searches on MySpace, you'll find those bands on it.
Not even one. Not one.
All right, I'll give you one. I'll give you one that is a band that is a nod to our good friend Paris Food Guy, who you had on a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
Go look up Chief's Big Rig.
Okay.
BT, Paris Food Guy, was a trucker for many, many years, and he always had these stories. And so we started a band. All these guys were in this other band. We started a band called Chief's Big Rig, and all the songs are about his adventures on the road.
Now that's
and awesome. We all had like fake names that we used too. I think my name was like Dallas, Denver, something or other. I can't remember, but yeah, I was Dallas, Denver, and then I had a third name. But yeah, go look up Chief's Big Rig.
All right,
and if you listen to those, don't cancel me afterwards, please, because those are all about Paris Food Guy. Don't get mad at me because some of them are vulgar or something like that.
All right. I was gonna try to work nicknames into one of my questions, but I'm gonna pass that by. I am gonna go with this is my final one.
Oh, okay.
Right. So I have to do it. I have to do the tried and true. We've been talking about entertainment. We always talk movies, et cetera, et cetera. It's just been greenlit. They're making the Kurtis Allen story. Who is starring as Kurtis Allen?
Oh my God. They got to look like me?
Hey, that's your choice, man.
Who's starring as me? Man, that's a good one. Oh, see, now I'm trying to think of like actors that kind of resemble me. Like one time a lady walked up to me and told me that I looked like Larry the Cable Guy, and it made me so sad for a month. So
guy's like a multimillionaire, man. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I know, but like,
but yeah. So you can do one of each. Do one because with the one of each. Do one that you think might resemble you, and one that you just admire and wish would be you. Not
all
be
right.
you, but I mean play you, not be you.
Okay. I'm gonna go as an old me. Okay, so De Niro's me looking back on my life leading up to this. De Niro's telling the story of my life.
Okay.
All right. And then boy, this is a lot harder than I thought, Ryan.
Yeah. It's the inner struggle. Like, do I want to be like, am I going to be too vain if I see this person, or is this person, yeah, exactly. That's what makes it difficult. That's why it's my last question.
All right. Tom Hanks plays me, but we use CGI to make him look younger. Yeah, Tom Hanks plays me.
Damn right.
Yeah.
shoot for the multi-Academy Award winner.
Yeah, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna go big. Tom Hanks plays me. De Niro still plays me as an old man, talking about his life. So
yeah, I was Kurtis Allen.
Yeah.
That's the worst De Niro impression ever. That'll help take some of the focus off you. Right, there you go. So Robert De Niro is looking back at a younger Tom Hanks in the Kurtis Allen story.
Yeah, I think so.
It's kind of
maybe you know what? Maybe we could find a way to have McConaughey play me too. I don't know. How can we get Hanks and McConaughey to play me with De Niro looking back on life?
Max it out, dude. I think you're hedging your bets here by taking 3 and 1, but I'm not against it. It reminds me, what was that movie that they did about what was it, Brian Wilson?
Yeah.
Like Paul Dano was him for a little while, and then maybe Cusack, I think.
Cusack, you're right. You are right. What a memory. Look at you.
Mm-hmm. It's all up there, man. But yeah, it's been done. It's been done. Yeah. We can do that.
I mean, they might have to use a little CGI on them to really make them look.
Got De Niro in it, and he's the king of CGI now. Didn't you see The Irishman?
I did, and I loved it. I love The Irishman. It's fantastic.
Fun movie. I mean, they bring him back prime Luke Skywalker now. They're doing all kinds of stuff. CGI is. Did you see
the new Coming to America?
I just did.
Talk about some CGI. I mean, look what they did with Eddie and Arsenio. It looked like the original from the 80s. Some of those scenes where they cut back to the club. I was like, wow, that's impressive. Yeah.
That was impressive. On the other end of it, though, adult Babar, not so impressive. Not so. Hey, it's my friend Babar, the elephant, walking through here right now. Do you see him, son? The elephant that is coming through? It was like, that part was a little bit like, oh, wow, man. Like, you guys couldn't get an elephant? Like, that's not.
No, time constraints, COVID, something kept them from getting the elephant. I don't know. But you're right. That part didn't look good. But Eddie and Arsenio, when they would cut back to the original movie, looked fantastic.
That was great. That was great.
Yeah.
When they did the whole, origin story of the kid and all that kind of stuff. Like, it was like, that was almost like, do they have some outtakes I didn't know of? And then
seriously, it looked that good.
It's like, no, it couldn't have been outtakes.
No.
Yeah. All right, man. That's 6. I told you, not too painful.
Survived.
Everybody knows all about you now, and they're on your MySpace page as we speak. Yeah, they still.
I gotta remember my password and go make that private now or something. Who knows what they'd find on there?
Are they still even out? Like, you can still find MySpace pages?
Yeah, man. There's some bands. I know there's some bands that still put their music on there for what that's worth. I mean, wow. I don't know. They've redone MySpace 3 times as well. And so this is true. I used to be able to log in. Like, I was proud that I could remember my password, but a few years ago, if you logged in, you had the choice between MySpace and MySpace Classic. And so Classic but now a bunch of your stuff is gone. Like, I don't think any of my pictures are there anymore. My top 8 is gone. I don't have my top 8 there anymore. I don't know what songs playing on the profile, if that's even there anymore. So
mine was oh man, I almost had it. I had Tear You Apart. Never mind. Not that important. It's a rough look, man. That's what I was wondering. Like, if they went back to my MySpace, this was like early single, like Big Mess Leskis right there, man. So that thing would have to be really
Big Mess Leskis.
Yeah.
I won't do it. I mean, there's a story about the first time I actually met you before you and I became friends that I've told you before.
Yes, it's true.
But I won't tell that story because we settled down. We're much wiser now.
That's called a tease. We will save that for another episode of Bag of Six. Thanks, buddy.
You got it, man.